45 press of that Cardi B song.
I got that on video.
Yeah. Huh. We should get a clicker. Like a little mini, like...
Oh, yeah.
That's what those
true.
are for, right? To get the sound?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize that until today. Yeah. Okay. As you can tell by the title and the cool thing we did at the beginning.
Edits, baby.
The edits, baby, yeah. We are comparing 90125 on vinyl and a non-remastered CD and remastered CD. We know the vinyl press is from '83 when the album was released, but we don't have a date for these two yet, but they will be like right here.
Yeah, so Owner of Only Heart, I think that the intro of the album like is really good on all three of them. Period.
I agree.
But as a landscape, it was very wide and big on CD in comparison to vinyl, and especially on the remaster, and that's compression. But
yeah, it's very
very wide, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know why that is, because technically it's not that they panned it anymore or anything like that, but it just felt like
bigger.
Yeah, still like that thin kind of like slice that guitar tone feels like. But especially the hi-hat on that track is really like bright and lots of that. Would you say that the vinyl or the CD translated that better?
Definitely the CD.
Okay. Yeah, me too. The clarity and the cut of it, brightness. It didn't feel dark on the record, but
no, and it usually does most of the time, for me at least.
Interesting. Yeah, so it doesn't feel dark this time. That's very interesting. The like spatial awareness of everything felt really good on CD in comparison to vinyl.
Yeah.
And maybe that's dirtier copies of it.
It's pretty clean though.
I mean, yeah. But like everything felt, reverb on vocals felt like you could, and it was tangible that something's back here and something's up here. I guess on that song, when the solo like is going back and forth this way and back and forth this way, that's true. Did you think that like on that solo, did the CD or the record feel bigger?
Yeah, I think the remastered CD sounded bigger just because it was louder. Because like if we turn the record up, we could hear it more, but like the CD is already loud on its own without having to turn the volume up, so you can kind of just hear the difference, especially when like there's some surface noise on this, and like let's say there's surface noise on the left side of the needle when the guitar's panned right, you don't really notice it as much unless it's like completely like silent, I guess. Like no surface noise. That's part of it, but like even when it was clean, it just felt less loud on each side, and that's just because it's a record. Because CDs are like digital, so they're loud, but records, it's a very low leveled electrical signal going from the needle when it's like scratching. Is scratching the right word?
I guess.
Rubbing the grooves, in the grooves, I don't know. But, sorry. Yeah, so records have to be amplified twice. So the first signal is being amplified by the needle, but then it has to be amplified again to be loud enough to play through the receiver to the speakers. And that alone will make it more quiet. Or like you can turn it up, but like you have to have the volume up more, which will change how it sounds than regards to CD.
In the case of this record, like I know on others that are older, especially to get them on CD, they had to like digitally remaster them. Is this one digitally remastered for the first one without not being the remaster?
I don't think so, because this is probably, like, judging by the case design, like the black thing right there, that's like the first CD case design from like 87. Like I have a first press CD of Tango in the Night by Fleetwood Mac, came out in 87, and I have that on CD, even though it's an analog recording. Same with Michael Jackson's Bad, 1987. We should compare that, because the 1987 Bad CD sounds terrible. And I have the 2001 Special Edition remaster, and it's just like... Yeah, it just sounds so much better. Okay, anyways.
That's really interesting. No, so like I know on the on Drama, like the original CD of that, it says it has been digitally remastered to get onto CD, but it was like a first press CD anyway. So given that this doesn't say that, I guess not. And I have heard rumor that this was at least somehow processed along the way on Pro Tools.
Back in 83.
Yeah, but
old Pro Tools.
Don't know if that's true or not. And I ruined the display, but it is what it is.
I'll get it back.
Y'all
saw enough.
What did you think about like the layers of the entire production?
Again, it's the remastered CD. I think it's just loudness. Like, the background stuff is louder on that than it is on the record, obviously, but even, like, here on the non-remastered CD, it's there, but, like, you don't really notice it's there on its own until you play the remastered CD. Like, for me, there's, like, layers I didn't hear on the remastered CD there's layers I didn't hear on these that I heard when I played the remastered CD. But, like, when I go back and listen to the record and the non-remastered CD, I know they're there, but it wasn't very obvious. Like, I had to listen for them.
And then I wonder, like, is that part of where we just live, where, you know, after the 90s and the CDs came out and the whole thing was trying to just master it as hot as possible? Is that just because we're accustomed to that? Or if you go back and ask them, like, when it came out, which objectively, or I guess subjectively, sounds better, would they agree? Or is it like, oh, wow, that's too much?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a time machine, so
yeah,
we'll never know, but...
It's a question of, is it cultural conditioning?
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting. Yeah, that's a very deep for this.
Yes.
But, it can happen. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The bass drops.
That's track 3.
Way deeper on CD. Yeah, it just... And everywhere that happens on the record, like Changes, it happens on Changes. It happens on City of Love near the end.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And all the little perk stuff all over the record. Like,
what do you mean by perk?
Like stuff in Hearts. Do.
Oh, percussion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Leave It. Especially all the nice little tinkly higher stuff, I guess, is, you know, it comes back to the clarity and cut of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then spatially. Yeah, like Hold On really felt like in one room on vinyl better though. Yeah. It just worked. It's not that it felt separate on on CD, it just really felt together. Everybody's in the same room
Definitely.
for some reason, but the reverb felt wider on the drums specifically on that track too, on CD.
Yeah. I always think it's funny listening to reverb on vinyl because you can see the needle, and like the whole point of reverb is for like it to be like spacey off of like the instrument, I guess. And like it's weird because like in my mind it's like, oh, it should be like reverbing off the record, but if you lift the needle you won't hear any reverb. And I just think that's funny. But that's just,
Yeah,
I don't know.
that is funny.
Yeah, because it's like all there and you're like, oh, well, like, because if you sing into a mic and there's like reverb happening and you walk away, it'll still be there. But like if you just lift the needle, it's not there anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to feel like you're in the room with them, or
Yes,
that
definitely.
they're in a room together or
Very
whatever.
roomy sound.
Yeah. So, of course, like the question that the thing that everybody talks about with the difference between vinyl and CD is bass, low end, warmth. What was your analysis? What did you pick up on?
So for records, if you want to have really quality bass, you have to make the grooves wider. But that would mean there's like less time to play on a record, like one side of a record. Like if you want really good bass, it's like 5 minutes or 10 minutes on one side instead of like 18, 17 minutes.
Something like that.
Something like that. I do have an example of a record that has really good bass and then one that doesn't have as much. And you can see that the grooves are wider on one of them than not. So Close to the Edge by Yes, I assume you know that album because you're watching this video. It's 18.5 minutes on one side, and you can see how small the grooves are compared to one that you might not know. It's Trench by 21 Pilots. It's a modern press from like 2018. Yeah, 2018. And you can see that the grooves are a lot wider. There's also a lot of dead wax on it too. I don't know why they pressed it like that, but it's just interesting.
Is it more expensive maybe to press it wider or something like that?
Probably, or you can just put less stuff on it. Like Trench is kind of a long album. It's like 50 minutes-ish. A little too long to put on one record, so I guess they just made it wider with more dead wax because it would have to be a double LP anyway. I don't know. There's still like 3 or 4 songs on each side on that record.
What did you think about like overall dynamic and like cohesion, flow? Beyond outside of the music, but just like sound itself.
Like the flow of like each section of the music?
Yeah.
I feel like they were pretty strong on all 3.
Yeah. It wasn't noticeably. It was definitely. Each one was like an easy listen. It wasn't like, ooh, that sticks out as bad.
Yeah, nothing stuck out too much.
Although the main difference I heard was like the changes kick, where it was more on the vinyl press it feels more higher mid-Z. It doesn't have, well, it's not that it doesn't have as much low end, but it has more of like a mid-Z is the only word I can really come up with. And the CD, it felt more less mid-Z. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
We could keep talking about tracks.
Certain songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Changes is a good one because the xylophone stuff on it. I don't know if that's xylophone or what. But.
And like the dynamic difference. We could talk about the dynamic difference because it's like the intro change is supposed to get like bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, plus a lot of the especially that song feels like it's built like this, and then there's like layers that create this like a triangle like coming out at you. So there's stuff that's like here, and then there's stuff that's here, and then there's stuff all the way along that trail, I guess. And then the clarity is what really helps it on CD for me, because it, the layers that are here that don't feel far away, that are pan wide, cut better, and the attack is really nice, I guess.
Yeah. I never thought about it being like a triangle. Like, some of it's supposed to be like here, but some of it's supposed to be here, and some of it here. It's like goes 3 ways, I guess.
Yeah, especially that song. Most of the stuff that's like right here, it doesn't feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like right in your face. It's not really far back there. There's some stuff that's here, some stuff that's here in the middle. But one of them they did that was really cool. They I can't remember which track it is, but they have vocals that are on the left and right, like hard panned, but then they put the delay for them in the middle. It might be
City of Love.
It might be Hold On too. Maybe they did it.
Wasn't
times.
like City of Love, City of Love, City of Love, City of Love. Are you
Oh,
talking about that part?
No, like the part where they have the vocals on either side, so it sounds like here, but then just
sunshine.
yeah, then just the
shine
delay
on
is in the middle,
through.
so it still feels like wide, but then it's like
Oh right, yeah, it is the sunshine shine on through part of Hold On.
okay, yeah. Something was really cool about that, and it felt more cohesive
Mm-hmm.
on CD to
Yeah.
me. I don't know why.
Mm. Just because.
Yeah. Oh, the bass definitely like felt more controlled on the vinyl though.
Yes, definitely.
Which is, I guess, part of it has to do with the whole groove thing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, but it didn't feel uncontrolled on the CD. It just didn't.
It wasn't like. I don't know if that's like the right. It's not really compressed.
Yeah.
It's just like less boomy, I guess.
Yeah, it felt nice and shelved.
Yeah, I guess there's a little reverb on the bass.
Maybe.
Maybe a little bit. For me, it didn't sound consistent. It sounded like. Boo.
Yeah.
A little. I don't know if shaky's the right word.
The frequencies are probably well, and that's probably part of it because the vinyl just doesn't create frequencies that are even that low. So you're getting lower frequencies that are bigger, and the waves are bigger, and so they're hitting you different. And depending on where you sit from the speakers, could totally change how you're perceiving those big waves to be too.
Yes, definitely.
Which one would you pick?
Probably Remastered CD, because you can just hear more. My second pick would probably be vinyl.
Yeah,
honestly.
Same. They're both good to have for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The vinyl is so like.
It's the original.
It feels right.
It just feels right because that's just how it was first.
Yeah, and it's fun to spin.
Mm-hmm. It's fun to look at too. But we're mainly talking about like sound in this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like really obsessed with how, I want whatever sounds the best, Remastered CD is the way to go for sure.
But if you want the original, there you go.
Is there a remaster vinyl press?
I don't know. It would be interesting if MoFi did 90125.
Oh, did they do that?
No, they didn't.
Oh man.
I think they did Close to the Edge in '82, which is like one of their earlier ones.
Have they done any other yes?
They did the Fragile one box set recently. That would be cool to have, but I don't like it enough to cope with like the over $100 it is now.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, most of their box sets are $100. Like I saw, there's still some Tapestry MoFis kicking around. But they like raised, like they're about $150 now, but like they were sold for $100.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
MoFi, do 90125.
Yes.
We are petitioning.
We are petitioning.
Do 90125.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it'd be cool if we could like, it'd probably be expensive, but if we found like a sealed copy of this,
Ooh.
like unplayed, Yeah.
That would be crazy.
I have opened an unsealed old record I got from my great uncle. He used to own a record store, and it's just this weird, obscure funk band. It was all right, but like it was cool to open a sealed record from back when.
Was it like completely clean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Some new records you open and they're still dirty.
I guess it just depends where they've been.
True. Yeah.
Because like you could have a sealed record sit in your garage, but like if it floods or if it's just dirty or humid, it might warp. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Let us know your favorite if you have
Yes.
multiple copies. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I have a fun fact about this album. So, they didn't know what they were gonna call the record, but were they on Atlantic or were they on Atco for this? Is Atco the label they were on?
Good question. I guess the remaster is not the one to look at. What were they on for drama?
They were on Atlantic for drama.
Yeah, you're right.
I think they switched labels. But
Is Atco just an offshoot of that though?
I don't know. But
Yeah, it's Atlantic.
it is Atlantic.
They shortened it to be Atlantic Corporation basically.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
rebrand.
More you know. I'm saying that too much.
The edit's gonna be in there. Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So they didn't know what to call the record, but they had a catalog number. Like records have catalog numbers, like. And yeah. So they didn't know what they were gonna call the record, but the catalog number was 90125, and so they just made that the title of the record.
I thought that was like is it a barcode thing or something? I don't know. That's really
Oh
interesting.
yeah, it's on the barcode too. It's 7567-90125-1.
Is it that way on the CD? It is. Oh, except
Yeah.
it's -2.
Yeah, 'cause it's a reissue.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Is there that not what's Okay, yeah, they just didn't even bother. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Oh, this is from 04.
Oh, okay.
This reissue's from 04. Yeah. So we
Interesting.
can put that in there.
I wish we could compare the bonus tracks that were on here because I think it'd be really. Of course, they're bonus tracks, so they're only on the expanded and remastered 90125. But like the Leave It acapella version is so fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And since it would be interesting that I was thinking the vocal parts where it was just vocals were like more pleasing to the ear on vinyl. It would be interesting.
Thank you for watching. This was fun.
Yes.
A fun first video to do.
Yes.
We will be open to suggestions within reason. Like if it's a record we don't know or own already, then we probably won't do it.
Yeah, or if it's one that's like only been pressed like 50 times, it's a limited release.
Yeah. Or like if it's some rare release, like I don't know. Yeah.
And just give suggestions.
Yeah. It can be by like Yes or like what are some other artists we have a lot of?
Like Supertramp.
Supertramp, Billy Joel.
Yes.
I have most of his stuff.
Styx.
Radiohead.
Radiohead.
Yes. I have every Radiohead CD and he has a lot of the records.
Yes.
Already.
I mean, I have some emo stuff we could do.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
We should definitely do Rick Astley. I don't know if you can see it.
As I say, these are probably like mostly records that you can expect that we'll do in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah, this one for sure. I don't have Cornerstone.
Okay. Well, we gotta find that then. But
Yeah, we gotta find that. What's weird is there's no sticks. Why are we talking about this? Okay. Bye.
Later.
Later.